And now we've got to the drawing stage. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my approach to drawing. I've drawn for many years. I drew as a child, and I drew all the way through art college, and I try to draw every day. So I'm 38 now, and I've been drawing since a child and drawing a lot since about the age of 17, 18. I have a real energy and passion for drawing, and at the moment I'm combining digital work, as you've seen in the chapters if you're following my course, and also I combine digital with the traditional drawing, you know, using pens, pencils, etc. And basically I'm keen to share my knowledge with you, my knowledge and enthusiasm, and in this instance we're drawing something that has a resemblance to the real life, but it's not photorealistic. So it's not purely abstract what I'm doing in this course, but at the same time it's not purely representative. It's expressionist. So on top of the 3D graphics, I'm going to do my expressionist drawings. Okay, so I have my own approach to drawing. And I believe that drawing is good for everyone. Never believe that you cannot draw, because there's no, in my opinion, there's going to be a lot, it's quite controversial, but there's no such thing as a bad drawing. Drawing is an object unto itself. You're drawing on the paper. It's not real life. It's not this pen. When you draw, it's a representation. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with photorealism, or drawing something that looks like something. That's a great thing in itself, but there are other avenues to explore, and this is what I do, and this is, if you're interested at all in this is for you. Okay, so basically you've probably seen my drawings. If you're doing this course, you've seen my website. I do a lot of black lines, quite loose, and what I do is I try to add patterns in the compositions. Yeah, so sort of abstract patterns, but if they're purely abstract, there's dots and things. But if they've got representational elements, such as city drawings, I try to echo the 3D graphics behind the drawing I'm making. Okay. One thing is that we've got the subject that we're drawing. If we're copying something from life or even a photograph, we've got the subject, and this subject, for example, is a cityscape. Let's draw a very quick cityscape, okay, with some trees, blah blah blah. Okay, that's your subject. Okay, and here's you, the viewer. I'll draw a very strange eye. Okay, so this is the viewer, this is you. It's a bit strange just drawing an eye. I always think that looks a bit surreal. We could add a pyramid as well, if you're a conspiracy theorist. So here's the viewer. And there's the subject, okay? And here's the hand that you make to use to make your drawing. And in the middle, we have what we're drawing, okay? So basically, we're copying the subject in our mind. So we're not copying it photorealistically if we don't want to, because we're drawing onto this object here, which is a piece of paper. So the piece of paper is different to the thing in reality, okay? So what I like to do on the piece of paper is to make an object onto itself. It's not the real thing, it's a reflection of the real thing, but at the same time it's an object in itself. A bit like a sculpture. So that's how I approach my drawing. Okay? And I use lots of different lines. I try to draw quite quickly because I find there's quite a lot of energy when I draw quickly. And I try not to think too much, because what I find sometimes, many people when they're drawing something, for example, outside I can see a spade, yeah? So they're drawing a spade just very, very carefully, yeah? And they think in their mind they're drawing a spade, yeah? But I don't think of it like that. I think of it, it's like the spade is surrounded by many other things, okay? So, again, we're taking it back to the object unto itself. So, just to reiterate, I mean, I believe that there's no such thing as a bad drawing. At school, you might be told by a teacher, this doesn't look like anything. You know, this is a bad teacher, okay? Basically, drawing is drawing. Look at famous artists, look at Picasso, etc., etc. Their drawings often didn't look like anything. They were objects unto themselves, okay? So just go out there and sketch, yeah? Just get out and sketch and enjoy yourself. So the next part of this lesson, I'm going to take my city work and work on top of it with some tracing paper, which is over here. So if you're doing the course, please have a coffee now, or whatever you like to drink, or a break, and I'll see you soon, and then I'll take you through the process of drawing with the digital city printed underneath. And now I've got to go and get the digital render printed for this lesson. Okay, speak soon. Bye. I've just nipped back, gone to the copy shop, and I got the print done. So here's the print. It's just a basic black and white print, nothing special, just the cheapest one as possible. And as you can see, I've bought some tracing paper here. Just fairly good quality tracing paper. It's quite white tracing paper. It's quite good quality. It's not grey, so that's very useful later on. So obviously I'm going to attach this to the table, the print, which is going to be my guide. Make sure it's a bit square. 2. Just attach it normally like you would. And then I'm going to take the tracing paper and place it over the top. Like so. So now we have both images fixed firmly, so they're not going to move. And I'll quickly note down the corners. This is very important for when we scan into the computer. Now, obviously, in the last lesson, I showed you my approach to drawing being an expressive, loose one. So many people might be tempted to carefully trace the line on the paper, but this is not what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it very, very quickly. And what I'm going to do, I've got lots of tracing paper here and quite a lot of ink. So what I do is I don't just do one, I do a lot. Sometimes I fill up the pad, and what I do is I choose one that I feel is something that I want, is one that I feel is close to the final output. Now this image doesn't have people, and I might actually do another render and print it out and use some of the people to make silhouettes. Or I might actually do that on the computer. So without any more speaking, I'll start to draw, and you'll see how I do this process, okay? So this is kind of just an echo. It's not trying to trace, it's trying to get energy lines, yeah? Because there's, as I said in when I was speaking about cities, there's the static sculptural elements, and then there's the moving parts, like the people, the traffic, the life. Yeah? So, and I find if I draw quickly, then the energy is transferred. You can smudge it a bit, that looks quite nice. Whoops. And when I draw, I feel the energy inside my hand transferring to the paper. I imagine almost electricity going into the paper. You should try the same, it might help you. This visualization method might help you. I find doing things quickly is good. If you slow down, then the energy goes. Remember, all the intricacies have been done in the 3D graphics. This is showing the movement, yeah? Don't worry if you make mistakes. There's no such thing as a mistake. And also, because we're taking this into 3D graphics, into 2D graphics, we can edit. We can take out any lines we want. Let's try this, another pen, perhaps this medium. I was using medium. So, as you can see, there's a lot going on here. There's movement. Dark bits, spaces, voids, energy, and this is what I want to convey. So there we go, that's one image, and see how quickly that took. And as I say, I'm going to do some more. So that's the end of me talking about it. What you'll see now is a time-lapse video with me using other sheets from here, trying to interpret it different ways, different lines, different speeds. And then finally, in the last video installment of this chapter, I'm going to go through them and then speak about why I'm choosing one or two even to combine and take into Sketchbook Pro. So, okay, speak to you soon. Thanks, bye.